Reporting for BuzzCity.ca, this is Steve The Hat Jeske, local interloper and band junkie right in the jam space of the Lazy MKs, with the Lazy MKs, Tyler Hammer, Ed Chen, and/or Steve Salode, and Chris Perpick. And we're here today to chat about the new album, Where We've Been, and we're here to chat about the show that will celebrate that album's release in 10 days from now, entitled Gather Around the Campfire. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
Real good, Steve. How are you?
I'm swell. You're looking productive.
We are, man.
Well, all right. We're going to talk about this in a little while. It might look like they're getting their Christmas packaging done early, but it's something completely different. We'll get to that. For the folks back home who do not know about this band and are coming late to this game, I'd like you guys to answer for the audience this multiple choice question. Pay attention. Lazy MKs are A, steel guitar post-rock band, B, a progressive rock band, C, a hipster jazz band, D, God's gift to mankind, or E, none of the above. And then when you do answer, tell me why. You want them again? I know it's been a long night for you guys, so I'll do it again here. A, steel guitar post-rock band, B, a progressive rock band, C, a hipster jazz band, D, God's gift to mankind, or none of these. How will we start with you?
I think it's got to be none of the above. It comes.
Oh, come on.
The steel guitar post-rock band comes close, but I mean it's more than that too. There's also bass and drums.
Isn't that what post-rock means? Bass and drums? But you said none of the above, so you can't talk about that, Tyler. Would you also say none of the above?
I would be inclined to say none of the above, but I would also be inclined to choose prog rock.
Yeah, prog rock. Yeah. So we've chatted about this before.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you say prog rock? Because it has a different connotation for lots of people, but yours is an interesting angle.
Well, like when the term was coined, it was more in reference to people that were pushing the boundaries of what was considered conventional at the time, I suppose, and we.
Do you also do that?
Well, we do something similar in that we all have a certain setup that we play with, and then we try to see what we can do outside of the limits that we've restricted on ourselves, I guess.
So if you had to say that in layman's terms, based on your previous answer, what would the conventional boundary be that you are in fact pushing?
Well, just playing instrumental music in one respect is a little more
progressive.
Well, no, for lack of a better term, I would say it's brave because you don't you don't necessarily have the conventional crutch of a melody or a hook or a singer to connect with the audience doing the work for you, where you can just lay back and do your thing. I hear it's concerted effort between the three of us to make something that's more cumulative, that stands on its own without having to rely on something like a singer or a melody, or well, not a melody, but something that someone sings along to. You know.
Yeah.
I remember someone saying once, writing poetry without rhyme is like playing tennis with the net down. And so it's like I like that idea of art that you give yourself a bunch of really tight constraints, and then you see what you can do within them. And it's like you say, we're going to deal with steel guitar, bass, and drums, and create a whole project around that. So I think that's exactly what Tyler's saying. Is you gotta work, give yourself boundaries, and then see what you can do with it.
I think that your answers have been great. I think that the audience still wants to know what you would answer. D, I remind you, is God's gift to mankind. But so far we've gotten an E, none of the above, and we've gotten a B, a progressive rock.
I would say that we're a country prog.
Country prog?
Yeah, that's because we're not progressive rock. We're we do things like that, but you know, we're different. So I would say, you know,
Progressive pop.
post-country, something like that.
So
Country post?
Country post. A fence post.
A fence post with a boot on it.
Chance the barbed wire.
You know, the classic definition of post-rock is using rock instruments to non-rock ends. So if it's post-country, that means we're using, in theory, that should be country instruments with steel guitar, bass, and drums would be to non-country ends, which is
I win.
kind of
country prog post?
Yeah.
Country prog post? PPP?
Sure. If you can make it sound like a disease, that's even better.
I think it already does.
There's got to be somewhere where we can pass
So I'm
that.
just gonna throw this out that, you know, in my
Get our
head, what
lawyers on
you've
that.
all described is something that, while knowing what you do now and what you used to do, would apply to both ends of the spectrum, you know, the last couple of years and now. But then again, you've kind of expanded with this record on your constraints. If you're talking even just from an instrumental point of view.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like no longer just drums, steel, and bass. What else is going on?
Well, we left. Well, we didn't leave room in the arrangements. We allowed ourselves to supplement the arrangements by adding horns and percussion.
Apart from that, I mean, just yourselves, like just what yourselves have done.
Well, we've definitely added.
Over there behind the camera, there's something intriguing.
Yes, there's the vibraphone. That's definitely on the record, and of course, you know, Tyler's played a lot of keys on the record too, as well as yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, adding different guitar sounds on the record, I definitely did a lot of that stuff as well.
There's a few banjo songs on the record, which is
new, yeah. And of course, there's a lot of percussion that we laid over top. A lot of the songs that worked out really well. Like Shovel, that's a new one for the band. And
well, I mean, let's be correct.
It's a spade.
Are you gonna call it spade a spade?
It is. No, if we're gonna be factual, let's be factual. It's a tree planter show.
Could it be referred to as a spade?
No, it's a tree planter show.
As a matter of fact, you can.
Clear. I'm clear.
yeah, things like that, you know.
So when you were talking, like, so all these different instruments, and we were talking a little bit soon about the collaboration, say with people playing horns and different things like that, you know. But what kind of dictated how this album would go? Because I understand that from a compositional standpoint, it was, I wouldn't say that it's like no holds barred, but it was just almost like, let's see what can happen within the means that we have. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about earlier today, and it's kind of like, because we're an instrumental band, and we also like to play with other people and back them up on their own material, and we've got to work with an amazing amount of people. Some are vocalists and some are instrumentalists, and I think that all these people that we got to get on the record have kind of inspired us, and it's like, well, we're writing these songs, and then we know, okay, well, obviously, Seneca Hannah Rose and Belle Plains, we work with beautiful voices. We should use their voices and get them on the record, because I know how they would sound, and it would sound great. And then, you know, when we did some work with the Pile of Bones, it's like, well, we know how their sound is, and we know we can get them to kind of go like this, but it's like, because they're there, they inspire the process as well. That's what I mean, right? So really, it's about everybody that we've been playing with, you know, and just getting them to do what they do best, you know. And the same goes for Orion. I think actually Orion is the other musician who is
Give more props.
Orion Parody from Soul Sound Studios. He engineered and recorded the record for us, but you know, he had a lot of input and hands-on work for the record as well.
Fourth MK.
I think he might be. Yes. So yeah,
we've done lots of recording with Orion playing on other people's records before, and so we sort of knew he knows our process and we knew his process, and so that, you know, that makes a big difference to when you go in. I think the other big difference was, and this was, you know, kind of Tyler's idea, that we kind of go into the recording without constraining ourselves, and you kind of see where it goes. And you, am I getting that close, Tyler?
Well, like without any preconceived notions of what the record should be, and we just wanted to let it
come on how it
let
wants to come out.
itself grow organically, I guess.
How long did it take to grow the album organically? I understand that you might have been in the studio for what some people might consider a longer time than normal, maybe, in the Regina scene, or not.
On the scale of what some people spend, like we only, like for the actual tracking, I think we only did it over
a week,
10 days.
10 days, something like that. Yeah.
How does it compare to the EP?
I think he was done in 3.
3 days.
Okay.
But and to be fair, like over those 10 days, they were more.
Took some days off.
Excuse me, they were more.
We took some day off.
We did take one day off, but they were more intensive days. You know, we were there for 8 to 10 hours a day when we were there. You know, and just kind of having fun with it, and just trying to use the studio as a tool that it can be used as.
Sure.
And it was something that I think on the EP we just had a disconnect with, you know. Like it was just more like a document, and we were more aware of like, you know, financial constraints, time constraints.
But yeah, it was much more of a live performance.
Yeah,
Which
it's good for like that's what that was when we did it. And,
sure.
And this is just something slightly different.
So I'm going to just talk a tiny bit about some of the tracks out there, just to get people excited about it, because I don't think that everybody out there will really understand what country prog post music actually would sound like, right?
I'm sure you're right.
I have to put some of the ingredients that would go into country post prog. You might have like a banjo hoedown, perhaps.
Yes.
You might have some spaghetti western.
Yeah.
You might have the best rip-off of YouTube that I've ever heard in my life. Anything else that you'd like to throw out there just to get people excited? Don't really get
That's on our CD?
Yes, it is.
I have to give it a listen again.
You know,
I'm trying to make you give away the
sort of
game.
like rootsy lullabies.
Sure, yeah.
That's
We've got the Herb Albert comment. You know.
Yeah, sure. Not a bad comment. If you had to do like the hop, skip, and jump, you got Herb Alpert, you know, Lazy MKs. It seems like it's a big wide gulf, but in fact, no. Why? How does that
Well,
work?
because of how many people Herb Alpert's influenced. It was like bound to have an effect on us.
Actually, our next...
Tennis without a net. Right? Good shot. I wanted to get to some important things because we do have some time constraints here at BuzzCity, and just wanted to get something out of the way that you're talking about the collaborators, and you know you mentioned them a bit. And I'm just going to be really blunt. I play on the record. I'm going to play on the show. Some people might consider this to be a conflict of interest. But I was talking to Chris about it, and it's like, it's really about community, as you were alluding to.
But can you ask the difficult questions?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, speak to that, because I thought it was a great answer.
Well, yeah, no, it's kind of what I was referring to earlier about how, like, the people that we play with, you know, have kind of influenced some of the parts that we kind of created to get them to do on our record. But part of the reason of this band was to create its own kind of music, but also to play with other people to back them up. And we've got to record with Cam to do his record. We got to record with B.D. Willoughby and Bell playing. And we've got to play with numerous other singers and things like that. And it's great. And what's just kind of happened is that this band has just kind of been, I don't know, it helps along the community, because then people get to see each other more and a lot more, and then we get to do all sorts of stuff, and we get invited to do stuff, and you know they invite us to do stuff, and it's great. So, and I don't know, yeah, just stuff happening all the time. It's really cool.
It's mutually beneficial between us and anyone that we work with, it seems.
If you take that point and like go to the show that's coming up in 10 days, tell us about the show, the mutually beneficial show. There's a lot of people involved.
There is. Well,
what can you tell them that wouldn't give away a whole lot of the goodies?
Well, no, I think I wouldn't mind laying it down. Tell everything. Like, we really wanted to have our friends, you know, involved in it. So for the opening set, we decided to get them all around. And we're gonna have, I think, 10 vocalists or guests come and each do a song. That's gonna be our opening set. Power is gonna be set around a campfire. We're gonna kind of pass the guitar, if you will, and just create some music just as we normally would. And then the second set is going to be quite an intense affair in my mind, because it's taking a lot of planning and whatnot. Because there's a sound script that Orion's going to be there doing different soundscape stuff. There's a lighting script. We have a lighting guy. Bill Hilda is going to come in and do a bunch of lighting stuff, and then
the main script is this.
And the main script is the music, and of course there's yourself playing keyboard. There's Anna Rosenbell doing voice. There's the Pile of Bones brass guys doing horns. So there's 3 of them, and Chris Sladeholm's going to do some guitar, and I don't think I've missed it. So technically speaking, the MKs have become a 10-piece kind of group, and we're going to perform the album start to finish, and we couldn't do that without community and without these people. So
10 days from now, come and check it out. Come and check out Community's Lazy MK style. Where we've been, where they've been, having a wicked time. Good luck. Thanks, bud.
Yeah.